Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the new Oblivion remaster that was just released yesterday. I do have some critiques about the game, but I will say it is worth your money. I think you should buy it, especially if you enjoyed the original game. Now, you could make the argument that if you enjoyed the original game, just play the original game. It's much cheaper on Steam, and you probably have a lot more options for mods currently. But if you want to see it remastered with newer graphics, some slight changes that they made, it's worth it. I streamed it for 5 hours last night. It was good. Go check it out on my channel. So to get into what critiques I have about this game, I will admit they're small. They really are. They're small. They're not huge critiques. I mean, the game is fun. Like I've said, you should play it if you enjoyed the first one. But starting with the first critique, the character creator screen. Why didn't you have some presets there? Like more than just one, because I tried randomizing that shit and it just seemed like it kept getting uglier and uglier and uglier. If you can't make a pretty character by randomization, something's wrong. Something's wrong with your whole character creator thing. There shouldn't be so many weird ass options there that a randomizer can do nothing but create ugly ass individuals. That's just wrong. If that's going to be the way it is, then you need to go through and have someone in your system, have someone on your team that really loves doing this crap and create several presets for the individuals who don't want to go through and adjust everything can just say, okay, let's look at this preset, let's look at this preset, let's look at this preset. So they can pick out the one that they like the most. And this goes for both women and men. I mean, because the characters were all ugly. Don't even get me started on the faces that we ran into in the game. Holy shit. And I'll talk about that in a second. I just want a nice, attractive, pretty looking character, whether it be a guy or a girl. I ended up going with a guy because I could make a guy that was more acceptable to me in a much easier fashion than a woman. Because Lord, those faces for women. The faces in this game, you run up on them when you during your quest and whatnot. Holy fucking shit! They're like, the eyes get really big, and just the emotions that they show. Not just the emotions, but the way the faces are designed and shaped. Holy shit! I mean, it looks like you get these streamers who play like Elden Ring and some of these other games that have character creations, and they purposely make their characters look dog shit ugly, or the craziest, most obscene type faces you could ever find ever. Look what Sebiwebs did with his Elden Ring character, if I'm not mistaken. That is what some of these characters look like when you're coming up on them. I'm like, seriously, all this technology and you couldn't make their faces look better? I mean, just come on. It doesn't have to be, fuckable, as Asmongold likes to say, although I tend to agree that all your characters should be fuckable, both men and women. But there's levels to the fuckable here, okay? They don't all have to look the exact same, but they need to be attractive, right? I mean, I'm a guy. I have different levels of fuckability too. I mean, I'm not that picky. That sounds horrible. God. Either way, the faces were just ugh. I've gotten so caught up into this, I can't remember what my other critique. It's staring me right here in the face. My other critique is the body type 1, body type 2 change. The original game had male female. Why would you need to make this change? But then you have retards like this on Twitter that, I mean, I saw this lady, God Empress of Mankind. What type of person calls them? Anyway, I saw this lady initially during the whole Dragon Age Veilguard thing, and she seemed to have some decent takes, so I followed her. But I'm telling you what, ever since then, she fell off that cliff hard, and she's hitting every branch down, all the way down. She's just becoming more and more retarded, it seems. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. She may not believe what she says, because the way she goes after certain individuals, it almost seems like she's got a personal vendetta, more so than it is that she believes what she's saying, or she's just engagement farming. Grifter. You never know. That's the problem with social media today. You never know if what you're reading from somebody is what they really think, or if they're just trying to say something that's semi-controversial or extremely controversial just to get those clicks and those likes and those retweets and those comments, because X pays out now, right? So the more engagement you get, the more money you're going to get. So that could be I almost said gist. That could be her gist here, if I'm using the right word. Holy shit. Anyway, so she comes out here and says, anyone crying about body type 1 and 2 thing in Oblivion Remastered just desperately scraping the bottom of the outrage barrel. No one's mad with you or laughing at you. You're embarrassing yourselves. Here, take one of these little charts you love waving around to decide if a game is a success or not. Now kindly shut up. And what she's doing here, she's kind of, I don't know, I guess you call it strawman in this argument, trying to say that people who are crying about the body type 1 and 2 are trying to say that the game isn't good or that it's woke, because I have seen people try to say that people are saying that, outside of your two retarded extreme individuals that I think are grifting and doing it intentionally. Nobody is saying that. Anybody who I've seen complain about the body type 1 and 2 have said that the game is good and they plan to buy it, or they're actively playing it already. So I do think she's kind of creating a situation for her to argue from that is not factually accurate. So Christina Tasty, which, I'm going to leave that name alone because there's a joke in there. Yeah. Anyway, Oblivion has been peak. It's not the end of Western civilization or anything, but I still stand that it's weird and unnecessary because you're not actually picking a body type, you're picking the whole ass gender too, so it's not even accurate. And Christina Tasty is correct here because in the game the emperor refers to you by your sex, whether it's male or female. He will refer to you as she or he. So why would you take those options away in the character select screen? I don't know. You should still have male and female, but no, you got to have body type 1 and body type 2. However, Goddess Empress, or God Empress, excuse me, I didn't mean to mess up your very important name here, has come out and stated that she doesn't care, but fuck, has she made a shit ton of tweets about this, retweets, quote tweets, responses, replies, all this stuff about this specific change or this specific critique. So either she does really care that they made this change, or like I said, she's just grifting and trying to go after some of the people that are critiquing this change because she's got some sort of personal who the fuck knows. Anyway, so she responds to Christina Tasty, love that name by the way, you won't hear me disagree with you there. What? So if you don't disagree, then what the fuck are you... Like I said, there's something else here besides her outright agreeing or disagreeing. I think she's got some sort of agenda that she's pushing in. I'm not saying the gender agenda. I'm saying grifting, something, who knows. So she's like, it's an odd choice, but it doesn't detract from the game. And she's correct. It doesn't. The game is still good. So I don't give a shit. Oh, yes, you do, honey. The way you've been tweeting about this, you definitely give a shit about this in some manner. There's an angle you're coming from that you really do give a shit about this. Veilguard's whole gender discourse and top surgery scars were retarded, and they were there to the detriment of the game. I just think there's some battles you fight and some that are not even battles. Look, nobody's trying to fight a battle here. I don't know why everybody's got to think, oh, there's battles, we're fighting. No. I mean, even Grumps come out and says, look, this is a weird choice. The game is still good. He's playing the game, but this is a weird choice. We don't like this. There is nothing wrong with critiquing this change and still playing the game. You can still play the game and like the game, but yet have issues with certain aspects of the game. It happens all the time. And this happens to be one aspect that a lot of people seem to have issues with, and we're really fucking tired of it. The first time I remember really seeing off the top of my head was with Elden Ring, and I'm sure it was probably around before then, but people didn't like it then. But they didn't make a big shitstorm about it because everybody loved Elden Ring. And there were other shitstorms being made about Elden Ring, mainly from devs who were worried about that game being used as a measuring stick against their game, because that's how good Elden Ring was. Devs were afraid they couldn't live up to it with their own video game. So similar with Baldur's Gate 3. People were worried about Baldur's Gate 3 being used as a measuring stick. But my whole thing here is like this lady's, one, nuts. Two, you can critique this change here and still play the game and still think the game's good. The game can still be good and not be perfect. This is a stupid change. And here's, I've told this before with other people on Twitter who are like, well, it's not a big change. What does it matter? Well, I'm like, well, if it doesn't matter, then why make the change to begin with? If it doesn't matter, if it's not a big deal, why the fuck did you change it to begin with? Makes no sense to me. So, but I know I've spent a lot of the time talking about like the handful of critiques I have. Just understand this game is a good game. I really do like this game. I am going to continue playing this game. You should play this game, but it's not perfect. And some of the issues in the game, I think they purposely brought on themselves by making these changes. If they hadn't made these changes, my critique list would have been a lot smaller. So either way, go play the game. It is good. It will be successful. And just because we criticize a game doesn't mean that it's automatically woke, even though that in and of itself is a critique at times. This does not qualify as a woke video game. There is a woke aspect to it with this body type 1, body type 2 change, because come on, we know where this change is coming from. We know why they made the change. Don't have to understand it because, you know, it's hard to understand. It's hard to understand crazy, right? But we know why they made the change. So that's why you could potentially use the word woke with it, but the game overall itself is not woke. It is a good game. Go play it. I hope you understand my critiques. I'm not trying to be hard on the game. They are nitpicks. Don't get me wrong. They are nitpicks. But like I said, if you don't think it's a big deal, then you have to ask yourself this. Why did they make you change it to begin with if it's not a big deal? If you change something and it's not a big deal, then why was it such a big deal to begin with that you felt like you needed to change it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's weird. Right? These changes are weird if you try to approach it from a logical standpoint. Now, if you approach it from an ideological standpoint, then you start to see a little bit more clearly as to why they're making these changes. So I am a little concerned about Elder Scrolls 6. With as good as this game is, they had it already built. Okay, this was built back in the early 2000s, 20 years ago. It came out 2006. So it was already there. This was an easy layup for them. And they made that layup. I am concerned about Elder Scrolls 6. I really am. I don't know if they can live up to the hype and the expectations that Skyrim set for them. Skyrim came out, what, 2011? Okay, there were 6 years, if I'm not mistaken, 5 to 6 years of a time span between Oblivion and Skyrim. How long has it been since 2011 to now? I mean, that's double that time, more than double that time. I am concerned that they are not capable of delivering on this game. I really am. And if, you know, times have changed, people have changed, politics have changed, the culture has changed. I mean, hell, the culture has changed just from a couple of years ago. So if you started developing a game 5 years ago, the culture you were developing that game under is completely different than the culture that exists today. So it is risky when you have game development take that long. And now it's for 2011 to 2025, that's 14 years. Really? I am concerned that the bar has been set too high for them, given the success of both Oblivion and the mega success of Skyrim. So we'll see how that goes for them. I do think there is some risk there of a major drop off, but we'll see. So anyways, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Are you going to buy this game? I think you should, especially if you're a fan of the Elder Scrolls series. But yeah, let me know. Buy the game, not buy the game. Do you have an issue with this change? And does it stop you from playing the game? Because we can have issues with it, but the game itself is still good because this is still the base game that came out in 2006. It is not a modern game. So I don't think it's going to be played by the same issues that a modern game would be played by. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more content. I do go live quite frequently on there. We play games. I am trying to do a little bit more React content on stream, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Hit the thumbs up. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.